Hello, red carpet walkers. I'm Lauren Shippen, professional writer who is now a proud owner of a custom lightsaber.
Wow, gonna need to see that, Lauren.
Yeah.
And I'm Cherokee McAnelly, head of entertainment at Tumblr, who would be nominated for Best Punner at the Academy Awards.
And this is Dashboard Diaries, a podcast for you, the folks who are in this internet bunker with us. We talk about what's going on our favorite hell site, get into what we like to call Tumblr lore, do fandom deep dives, and share the times when we've gone feral over a new ship. Cherokee, what has your week on Tumblr been like?
Oh, well, Lauren, I feel like you won't be surprised in the slightest that my week on Tumblr has been very Last of Us centric.
Yep. We're closing in on the end of the season.
I'm terrified, and I have genuinely never been so stressed out for an episode of television in my life. Like this, I was. Anyway, we'll get to that later. But also, we have recently started doing this thing on Tumblr, which I think I talked about last week with our last episode with Ant-Man, where we do Tumblr Today, where we pick a different theme of the day and we kind of like curate a bunch of fan posts about them. And last week we did a Jennifer Coolidge theme.
Love it.
And I have to say that was my favorite theme we've done so far. And one of the polls that we did was, what is your favorite Jennifer Coolidge film? And I'm wondering, or Jennifer Coolidge role, excuse me. So what is your favorite Jennifer Coolidge role, Lauren?
I mean, Legally Blonde, you know,
Classic.
Like that was the first thing I ever saw her in. The bend and snap is iconic.
Can't forget.
Yeah, love it. What about you?
I think it has to be the same because was my intro to Jennifer Coolidge, and it really is the peak. But I have to say, like, her in White Lotus, just truly incredible. I really love, when White Lotus is on, I talked about it maybe for half of every episode during the season. So big fan. But then also a small but underappreciated role that I really love is Best in Show.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, she's so great in that movie.
Anyway, how is your last week on Tumblr been, Lauren?
It's been good. Also very Last of Us heavy. I really enjoyed the massive fan art post that one of the Tumblr official blogs, put together of Last of Us art. It was incredible. But also, over the past couple of days, or really just like one day, I guess, my dashboard has been full with the Winchesters.
Yes.
Because huge spoiler for the CW's The Winchesters coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dean Winchester is in it somehow. And I've watched all of Supernatural, but I have not actually watched any of the Winchesters. I've sort of been watching it through my Tumblr dash, and this was a curveball. And I just realized, Cherokee, that now I've maybe spoiled something for you because you are in the midst of watching Supernatural, which is a perfect segue into do you have a Supernatural update for us?
I absolutely do, Lauren. So this week, I watched season 1, episode 13, titled Route 666.
Ooh.
Which I love and was the security code on my last credit card. So it's not my credit card anymore. The log line for this episode is that there is this haunted freeway, essentially, where people keep dying. There's a monster truck, not like the rally kind, like the haunted kind, that is running people off the road and killing them. And it turns out that essentially, like, this was someone, this truck is haunted by like a very angry spirit who was killed years ago because he was committing hate crimes in the 60s, and someone who he was attempting to kill fought back and was able to kill him, and all of his friends like covered up the self-defense killing of this man and like pushed his car and him into a lake. And then the house that this lake property is on starts getting renovated, and it wakes up the spirit, and he goes back and is like revenge killing all of the people involved in his death. And it's a wild episode. It was really intense, and it also had a Dean hookup. There was
was this daughter, Cassie?
Yeah, there was the daughter of this man who was killed. Like, she is the one who calls Dean and Sam in and is essentially like, there's something going on. Like, I know, that you do ghosty work. And, Dean is being very like kind of, secretive about the whole thing. He's like, yeah, we've met to Sam, and Sam is like, how? And And it turns out that them casually having dated as they were in a very serious relationship. And honestly, part of me was like, Dean, stay in this town. You've exercised the evil spirit. That spirit is gone. Stay with this gal and just live a cute little like small town life. Spoiler, yes. I don't think he does, but I wanted him to. So big episode, intense episode, and showed a little Dean soft side. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Of all of Dean's canonical loves, I think Cassie probably is my favorite, even though I think we only meet her in that one episode, but they just like had good vibes, you know? It's like she felt like she like clicked with him and stuff. And it's also hilarious to me that her name is Cassie. And then later on, we get a different Cass.
Do we? I wasn't aware. We'll find out later then. Oh,
Dean has a type.
Just got there. And yep, love that. Took me a second.
And now, as we do every week, we've got our dashboard confessionals where we dive into our own archives and dredge up posts from the past. Cherokee, what did you bring to our doorstep today?
I have a very, very special post today, Lauren. This one is from March 2015. It is of our Tumblr zaddy, David Karp. And it's a gif of him with like burgers flying around, and also he's holding a sandwich, and also there's a computer next on each side of him, and those also have sandwiches on them. And the context here, I'm not gonna lie,
please,
unsure about the sandwiches, but so David used to do like fireside chats as like a little like weekly like team meeting, and he would have one computer with like the questions and the other computer just with a graphic of a fire, like a fire like video on it.
I love that.
We would all come in. It was like a little team meeting, and they would be during lunch. So this is a gift that our good friend Johnny made, one of our awesome Tumblr engineers, Johnny Benson. Hey, Johnny, made this gift back in the day, and it's just a nice little jazzy gift, and it kind of reminds me of the Denny's Tumblr, which is a really good heritage Tumblr.
Absolutely. I totally see the resemblance. I love that. Amazing.
Yeah. Jazzy little piece of Tumblr history there.
I have a post from 7 years ago. This would have been March of 2016. And it is just a comic panel. I have no idea its origin. I don't know if it's real. I assume it's not, or it's somewhat photoshopped. But it's kind of a classic like 1960s style comic. And there is a person staring wistfully out the window at a city skyline. And their speech bubble says, "I'm really sad that you don't like me, internet stranger." So, yeah, I thought that encapsulated, a lot of experiences online. I was hoping internet strangers would like me 7 years ago, and I'm still hoping now that internet strangers will like me. So, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Couldn't agree more. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. And I have just saved that to my desktop to make my computer background. So I really
oh my God, incredible. This week's Tumblr vibe is a warm, firm hug from Pedro Pascal. If you're looking for gear that makes you feel just as badass in real life as you do when you get a triple S combo kill in a game, look no further than Volante Design. Their high-quality, handmade jackets bring that main character energy into your everyday life. With official licenses from series like Assassin's Creed, Devil May Cry, and Star Trek, as well as plenty of original collections like their Cyberpunk and Modern Ninja line, Volante Design has a jacket for whatever your lifestyle needs. Ethically sourced and manufactured, Volante jackets are made for quality and will last you for years to come. Just go to volantedesign.us and use code SHOELACES for 10% off your entire order. That's shoelaces, all one word, for 10% off. Volante Design. Stay badass. Okay, so Cherokee, last episode, we came up with our own Tumblr awards because it is the height of award season. We just had like the WGA Awards and the SAG Awards and the Golden Globes were earlier this year. And we've got the Oscars this weekend, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But of course, the award show that everybody's been clamoring for is you and me handing out awards with the help of our listeners and Tumblr followers.
Yeah, everyone's been waiting with bated breath. Everyone's tuning in.
Bated breath.
Yeah.
So we are going to run through these categories once again, and this time we're going to be sharing the additional nominees that were added to these categories for our Tumblr polls based off of things that listeners give us feedback about. So we've got a couple of listener submissions, and yeah, we're going to talk about what we voted for and then tell you what the popular vote went for. So
Fun stuff. I'm excited to find out what you voted for, Lauren.
I know. All right. So most niche discourse / best fandom drama. Our nominees are Barbie fandom Queen Doll beheading, Your Realm
Classic.
Shifting Wrong, classic, Hamilton fic writer Fake Identity, which if you don't know the story, we'll probably tell at some point on the show, Constable Frozen, and Sonic for Real Justice. Cherokee, what did you vote for out of these niche dramas?
Pretty predictably, I voted for Barbie fandom Queen Doll beheading, one of my favorites.
Excellent.
One of my favorites. Also because I will say these are pretty niche. I'm going to need to know more, especially about Hamilton fic writer Fake Identity. I'm excited to know more. What about you, Lauren? What did you vote for?
I also predictably voted for Your Realm Shifting Wrong because that's probably one of the favorite discourses I've seen on Tumblr. But our winner by popular vote, getting 36% of the vote, was Hamilton fic writer Fake Identity, which is a wild story. That was in poll form the quickest way I could summarize what it was. I do think we ought to do an episode on that and maybe some other very strange Tumblr happenings that have occurred because it's a wacky one.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll just leave that as a little teaser and hand the award to that crazy discourse that occurred many years ago.
All right. Up next, we have Best Blorbo. The nominees are Bucky Barnes, Joel Miller, Eddie Munson, Steve Harrington, Puss in Boots, Dream of the Endless, Linda Carter, and Billy Butcher. So what did you vote for,
A good selection
Lauren?
of Blorbos.
Yeah, right?
I voted, I listen, a bunch of these are my own Blorbos, but I voted for Linda Carter. I couldn't not. I love her so much. Who did you vote for?
I voted for Puss in Boots.
Oh, interesting.
Just wanted to mix it up a little, get a little wild. I also feel like a lot of these were my Blorbos, and if I'm being honest with myself, genuinely, my current Blorbo is absolutely Joel Miller.
Yes.
However, I also love that with the popular vote winner, we have Linda Carter. So Tumblr's Blorbo won Best Blorbo. We love to see it. Hi, Linda.
We love to see it. Hello,
Definitely
Linda.
Be tweeting this at her from the Tumblr account.
Absolutely. We love you, Linda. We love what you're doing on Tumblr. And yeah, this was a lot closer than the other polls. It was pretty divided. And while I did vote for Linda Carter, my phone background currently is Joel Miller on my lock screen, and then on my home screen it's Steve Harrington.
Wow, love it.
So,
You're a woman of many Blorbos.
my Blorbos are always with me. I'm one of many Blorbos.
I will say, poor Billy Butcher with 0%
Poor Billy Butcher
of the vote. Billy, I love you. You're a Blorbo in my heart.
We love you, but I guess that there's just not many fans of.
Not a lot of Billy Blorbos out there.
Is Billy Butcher the butcher from The Boys?
From The Boys. Yeah.
Okay.
How could someone not love a gruff, bearded Australian man in a cable knit sweater? What?
Yeah. It's excellent. Is Billy Butcher also the name of the zombie in Hocus Pocus? Am I?
Now I have to look that up.
Am I totally making that up?
I haven't seen Hocus Pocus in many years. Let me see.
I'm pretty sure he's played by Doug Jones.
Yes.
William Butcherson, Billy the Butcher. Yes.
Oh wow, double Blorbo, I guess.
Double Blorbo.
I don't know if Billy Butcher from the Hocus Pocus film is anyone's Blorbo, but if he is, please do let us know.
I definitely think that Doug Jones is a Tumblr Blorbo because he plays all manner of monsters.
Yeah,
he's like Pan and Pan's Labyrinth, and yeah, exactly.
Oh, Pan, honestly, Blorbo too. Blorbo with eyes in his hands. I like it. We
love it. We love a creature.
We love a creature.
This next category really surprised me.
Wow. Yeah.
So it was most shippable couple, and the nominees are Scully Mulder, Merthyr, Black Bonnet, Steady, Nandor, Caliet, and the miraculous ladybug Love Square. And Cherokee, who did you vote for?
So I voted for Caliet because I just feel like Caliet needs some love. Hashtag renew first kill. And I just, love that show. I will say though, my again, Steady is probably my it was a tie. It was a tie, but I went with Caliet. How about you?
Yeah. I voted for Merthyr because you can, take that ship from my cold dead hands, just like Arthur's cold dead hands. I love a tragedy. And despite our passion for those ships and Tumblr's passion for many of these ships, the winner was tried and true Scully and Mulder.
We love it.
You can't go wrong with a classic. I have to say, I actually was like really warmed to see that because I obviously am a huge Scully and Mulder shipper, huge X-Files fan, but it is one of those shows, one of those ships that I think I sort of assume like the people who are, on Tumblr who are shipping those characters and watching the X-Files are people my age and older. And I like to think that like maybe the kids are watching the X-Files still and like are shipping Scully and Mulder. I hope so.
And up next, we have best TV shows for making gift sets. The nominees are Stranger Things, Santa Clarita Diet, Arcane, Dragon Prince, Severance, What We Do in the Shadows, and Succession. What did you vote for, Lauren?
I voted for Stranger Things in this because I spent a lot of time looking at each of these show tags and specifically filtering the Tumblr search to gifts so that I could, just look at gift sets. And there's so many wonderful ones. And if you just go to dashboarddiaries.tumblr.com and search our gift sets tag, or I think gift set singular, you will see all of these incredible gift sets that people make. And the Stranger Things one, there's just like so many creative, interesting gift sets of all different kinds. So that was my vote. Who got your vote?
Well, first off, more like gift sets. Am I right, Lauren? And my vote, I also think pretty predictably, was What We Do in the Shadows, because it's my current obsession. It's my current fixation. So, which we'll circle back to later as well. But yeah, and also the winner with a whopping 37.3% of the vote is What We Do in the Shadows. So I guess the people agree. Congratulations.
The people agree.
Yeah.
The people agree. That was one of I think the strongest percentage showings in any of these categories, with some other strong showings coming in the next two categories, which both had a lot in common, I will say.
And I also just realized for most shippable couple, we put Nandor instead of Nandiermo.
Oh my God.
Most shippable couple is Nandor with himself.
That was completely my bad. I'd been looking in the What We Do in the Shadows tag for gift sets, and I think I saw Nandor's name a bunch, and I don't watch the show, so like oh man, I hope that didn't sway people's votes in any particular way. I'm sure people knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, first off, they absolutely knew what you're talking about, and second off, Nandor definitely is in love with himself, so could be a ship.
I've gleaned that from the gift sets that I've looked at. Our next category is memed the most. And the nominees are Breaking Bad, Live Slug Reaction, Tickets to Barbie Please, Goncharov, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Cherokee, what did you vote for?
I voted for It's Always Sunny. How about you, Lauren?
I voted for Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Love it.
I think those are two of my favorite memeable shows, but this was a runaway winner with Goncharov.
Yep.
Which, you got to love a homegrown Tumblr organic meme. It can't be beat.
Yeah. We're just but humble farmers tending to our memes. Humble bloggers tending to our memes. Yeah. Up next, we have Always Fixating / Best New Fixation. And the nominees are Stucky, The Last of Us, Our Flag Means Death, Goncharov, and Heartstopper. What'd you vote for, Lauren?
I mean, I stayed, tried and true to my Stucky roots. You got to honor where you came from. Yeah, I stuck with them.
Yeah.
What about you, Cherokee?
I went with Goncharov. I went with one of our, homegrown brand new fixations. And unsurprisingly as well, also based on the last category, we have Goncharov yet again with 37.9% of the vote. Really sweeping the Dashboard Diaries awards these years. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2 awards. That's a good showing for Goncharov and what Goncharov deserves, frankly. All right, our penultimate category is Best Day of the Week Meme. And this was another surprising one. This was also had a runaway winner. So we have Energy Sword Sunday, Miku Monday, Sweet Fat of the Hog Tuesday, Tuesday again, no problem. It is Wednesday, my dude. Out of Touch Thursday, How the Fuck Is It Not Friday Thursday, Fingers in His Mouth Friday, Flat Fuck Friday, and Radical Saturday. Cherokee, beautiful. What day of the week did you vote for?
I voted for Sweet Fat of the Hog Tuesday. Just because I like it. Wanted to go with the classic. What did you vote for?
I went with Flat Fuck Friday. I just love those pictures of little flat animals. I think it's really cute.
and who doesn't love some good alliteration,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the clear winner here with 36% was Out of Touch Thursday, which I'll be honest, I didn't see coming, but I love to see it.
Did not. I guess we're out of touch, Lauren.
We are.
And also, I think this was the one that got the most votes as well. So people really had some opinions here.
That's true. It did get the most votes out of any of the categories.
And up next, and our final category is Stranger Than Fan Fiction, aka shows and movies that feel like fanfic in the best of ways. Our nominees are Our Flag Means Death, Venom 2, Heartstopper, or Other, put your own in the tags, reblogs, and replies. So we have Venom 1 was better fanfic than Venom 2. Okay, I has a fandom. Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take. And someone did Don Juan Talianis, 1971.
Mm-hmm. And we also have, in someone's tags, we've got Interview with the Vampire, Black Sails, RTD era Doctor Who, which is Russell T Davies, Doctor Who, and House MD. Which all very great submissions. So thank you, Jefferson Hair Pie, for that, because those were some good tags.
House MD. Interesting. It did get ridiculous near the end.
And it is in some ways fan fiction, right? Because it is medical Sherlock Holmes. That is the House and Wilson instead of Holmes and Watson. House actually literally lives at 221B, his apartment. Did you not know this?
I never put that together, Lauren. I am losing my mind. Oh my God.
He's a medical detective.
Oh, holy shit. Wow. I see my face got redder. Like I am in shock.
I have been able to share this information for the first time with so many people because I guess I was really obsessed with House when it first came out, and I was also reading every single magazine I could get about television, and it was something that the creator talked about. But I feel like I'm somehow the only person who has this knowledge.
Please impart it upon the world. I am truly we may need to take a few seconds. I'm really unpacking a lot right now. Wow. I need to rewatch House with that knowledge.
Yeah, it is. It
incredible.
Is fanfic.
Yeah, in the best way. I love that. Well, you learn something new every day.
Every day.
Love to see it. Fantastic.
What did you vote for in this category?
I voted for Our Flag Means Death.
What
about you?
A solid one. I voted for Venom 2. And actually, I do understand what that person was saying about Venom 1 being better fan fiction than Venom 2, because I actually think together as a sort of set, there's some really fun enemies to lovers stuff there, good just monster stuff. But you clearly picked right.
Our Flag Means Death with a whopping 51.2% of the vote. So everyone's waving their flags for the death. That, I was really trying to come up with a bit there. I think we may have to cut that right on out.
I was at Disney World this past weekend, and we went on the, Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And in that sort of environment, there was a Blackbeard flag flying amongst other pirate flags. And my first thought was literally like, wait, why do they have an "Our flag means death" flag at Disney World? And then I realized, like, oh yeah, it's based off of like Blackbeard's real flag from history.
I love that. Lauren, if you were to make your own personal flag, what would it look like? What would your pirate ship flag look like?
Ooh, great question. I'm trying to think of like what it would have on it. I feel like there would be like a cheese wheel on it. I don't know why I'm feeling
I like
that, but
that feels right.
Right? Yeah. What about you? What
Like,
would sort of be the main
like a
symbol?
wheel of cheese.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm thinking like Pippi Longstockings, like with her like hair kind of braided and up, and like the stripy tee, because vibe-wise, she's kind of a pirate. She's got it going on, and I feel like I have a Pippi Longstocking energy. Also, really enjoyed that film growing up. So
yes,
Pippi.
All those things are true. I love that for you. All right, so all of this award giving was in the spirit of awards season. As I mentioned, the Oscars are on Sunday, and for our game, I thought it would be fun for the two of us to make some predictions around who we think is going to win sort of the biggest categories, and also best costume design, which is a category I love.
Ooh, jazzy.
Okay, so for best costume design, we have Babylon, Mary Zophris, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Ruth Carter, Elvis, Catherine Martin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Shirley Kurata, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, Jenny Bevan. So, Cherokee, who do you think is going to win best costume design?
I think it's going to be Ruth Carter for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It was just breathtaking costume design in this film. Truly incredible. So that's absolutely my vote for my favorite, and also who I think will win. What about you?
I'm completely with you. That was going to be my vote as well. So we're going all in on Ruth Carter. Best of luck to you, Ruth.
Fantastic. And up next, best original screenplay. The nominees are The Banshees of Inisherin, written by Martin McDonagh; Everything Everywhere All at Once, written by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert; The Fabelmans, written by Steven Spielberg and Tony Kushner; Tar, written by Todd Field; and Triangle of Sadness, written by Ruben Östlund. Who do you think is going to win? Or who is your favorite?
Well, I have seen none of these movies. And I do love Tony Kushner with all my heart, and I think he's an incredibly talented writer. But I do think, based off everything I know from it, I haven't actually seen it yet. It's top of my list. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is probably going to take this category. What about you? What are you hedging your bets on?
So I have seen every film in this category except for The Fabelmans. All truly incredible films. I loved Triangle of Sadness and Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I'll be touching on them later because they have multiple nominations. But I do think The Banshees of Inisherin is going to win Best Screenplay. It's a beautiful screenplay. It is very, very dialogue heavy. And when I was watching it feeling like I was watching a Broadway play. Like, it really feels like kind of like classic play, really beautifully written and beautifully done. So that's my vote.
I do really love Martin McDonagh, and that's another movie I would really love to see because he is a Broadway playwright. I mean, he wrote a bunch of a bunch of Broadway plays, including The Pillow Man, which I never saw, but which I read, and then I didn't fall asleep for like 2 hours afterwards because it was so scary.
Yeah, we did a production of The Pillow Man in college. I was a member of Fordham Experimental Theater, and we directed all our own shows. And I was not in The Pillow Man because I did sketch, but we did a production of Pillow Man directed by very talented Michael Dahlgren. Hi, Michael, if you're listening, probably not. And it is terrifying. Like, even like this like tiny little black box like college production I saw of it, I was so scared. So yeah, really beautifully written. It's really beautifully done. And I see the through line with Banshees of Inisherin as well. This is really embarrassing, but I feel this is a safe space to share with you and all these lovely internet strangers. So I don't know if I've talked about this in previous podcasts, but like, I have this thing where like, if something gets too intense or too sad, I will like turn it off. If I can't handle it, like there are so many things like Titanic, I turn off. Like I've seen the full film of Titanic, of course, but I turn it off now, right when Rose says to Jack, when this ship docks, I'm getting off with you. And I'm like, great, beautiful story, off. So,
and that's the end.
And that is the end. And they lived happily ever after. So Banshees of Inisherin had a moment that I was watching it with my parents home over the holidays. And I was like, I actually can't finish this film. So the last 20 minutes of Banshees of Inisherin I have not seen, and I had to look up on Wikipedia because it got too intense for me. I am so sorry, Martin McDonagh.
That's amazing. Listen, you know what? You know your limits and you take care of yourself. Exactly. I respect that immensely. Our next category is Best Lead Actress. We've got Cate Blanchett for Tar, Ana de Armas for Blonde, Andrew Riseborough for To Leslie, Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Cherokee, who do you think is going to take this?
I think Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. First off, just incredible performance, incredible film. And also Michelle Yeoh has just been crushing it in Hollywood for so long. Yeah. And it is long past time for her to win an Oscar. And so I think it's going to be a combination of the fact that she absolutely crushed this role and is so deserving of Best Lead Actress in this. And also she is so deserving of so many more awards. So I really hope this is the one, and I feel like a lot of Academy voters will feel the same. What about you?
Yeah, completely agreed. Again, have not seen any of these movies. This is maybe a silly game for me to make both of us play, given I've not seen many Oscar nominees this year. But yeah, just based off of her previous work and just, her incredible talent, I feel like she's got this in the bag.
Yeah, I also think voting based on vibes is completely valid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's how most award shows work.
100%. And up next, we have Best Lead Actor. And the nominees are Austin Butler for Elvis, and he continues doing the Elvis voice to this day.
He's stuck. He's trapped.
Yeah, rumor has it he'll never stop. Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Paul Mescal for Aftersun, and Bill Nighy for Living. Who do you think is going to win this one?
So I have seen one of these movies. I've seen Elvis. And Austin Butler was genuinely incredible. So you know what? I think I'm going to throw my weight behind him. What about you?
Love it. So I have an actual answer and a heart answer. Mm-hmm. I'm fine. So I think Brendan Fraser is going to win for The Whale.
Yeah.
And I really think it's because, first off, I have not seen The Whale because I saw the trailer and I was like, that seems really sad. And so I have yet to watch it. But I know that he did like an incredible like performance of his career kind of performance. And I also think, again, it is so long time coming for Brendan Fraser to get his like day in the sun. Because he is just incredible. And so I do think Brendan Fraser will win for Best Lead Actor. But my heart vote, not because I've seen Aftersun, which I should watch, but I just love me some Paul Mescal. So, it's hard to pick, but right? So I picked 2 of the 5. If everyone could win, that would be nice.
I'm totally with you. And I completely agree. I think Brendan Fraser is going to win. And I am just so happy at that prospect because I think he absolutely deserves it. Austin Butler is young. He's got a whole career ahead of him. He's going to win an Oscar.
Yeah, he crushes it. Oh my gosh. I remember him in the Carrie Diaries back in the day. Look at how far
my God. Look at how far he's come. And now the big award, Best Picture. We've got All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Cherokee, who do you think is going to win?
I kind of predictably do think that Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win. It's one of the most creative, beautiful, different, world expanding films that I've seen. And I just really, I just think it's so unique and something that I've never seen before and so beautifully done. So I do think Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win, but it is like, this is a packed year. There are some excellent, excellent films, of course, in this category. What do you think is going to win?
I'm totally with you. I think based off the way that the award season's been going so far, and based off everything I've heard from it, Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win, which makes me really happy because it's not a sequel, it's a completely new story, and I love seeing that stuff rewarded. So, and not to say that there's a couple of movies like that on this list, but I'm pulling for them and their googly eyes.
Yep, couldn't agree more. I really loved Triangle of Sadness. That's the only film on this list that I have seen more than once. I've seen it 3 times.
Oh,
so
wow.
Far. I really I saw it in theaters and loved it. It like came out on streaming and then I watched it, and then a friend came over and they hadn't seen it and I was like, we're gonna watch it. So
That's
love this
quite
movie.
the endorsement.
Yeah, big fan. It is like wild and ridiculous. It's kind of like in 3 parts, like kind of like a play. Really enjoyed it. Highly recommend giving it a gander if you haven't yet. Really, really love. And each part is so completely different than the last. It's excellent. Anyway,
oh my gosh.
I could go on. We could do a whole episode. I loved it.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, it sounds like that is something that's gotten you really in your feels.
Yeah.
And so
definitely.
I think it's the perfect time to close out with our Feels Corner, where we talk about what's giving us feels. Other than Triangle of Sadness, what's been giving you feels since our last episode?
I mean, other than Triangle of Sadness, I have to go with The Last of Us because of that final 2 minutes of this week's episode, which like I'm almost crying. It was like, it was just so, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. So I'm not like, if you know, it was just that really sweet, like moment that everyone's kind of been waiting for between our 2 leads. And I really loved it. And it really like actually had me sitting there for a few minutes after, like genuinely in my feels about it. So yeah. What about you, Lauren?
I mean, that is such a great one because and you are playing the video game right now, right?
I am. I'm still not through the prologue.
It takes a while.
There's this one zombie right at the end, like the final zombie before you like that you get by, and then like something happens and then the prologue begins. Like I have watched gameplay videos. You're supposed to just run by the zombie. It's not that complicated, but for some reason, I can't make it by in time. I have probably died 100 times. I'm not exaggerating at that part. One of my friends offered to come over and get through it for me, but I'm like, no.
I'm going to do it.
This.
Listen, I believe in you. I believe in you. And that's so relatable. And one of the posts I saw about Last of Us this week was, I'll be very vague about this, but the scene toward the very end when there is a fire occurring, that particular scene was so fabulous. And we got to a point in the scene where I was like, oh my God, that was so fast. And then I realized like, yeah, because when you play through this scene, Lauren, it takes you fucking forever to do the thing that you need to do. And the first time I played the game, I fundamentally actually misunderstood what I was supposed to be doing in that particular like level. And so I spent like probably 12 to 15 minutes just like completely missing the point and like trying to do something that was actually like not achievable. I have to say it's been very interesting to see. I've played through The Last of Us, the video game, I think in its entirety about three or 4 times. And so it's like I know the game pretty well. And it's been really interesting to see the changes that they make from the video game to the TV show. And one of the things that really got me this week, this is not a change, but just in terms of like, because I know how the scope of all these characters' arcs go. Yeah. The scene where Joel has the map and is talking to those 2 guys. I felt a feeling that like I have not otherwise accessed around the way that Pedro Pascal has played Joel's arc and like his particular transformation in that scene. And like, we'll talk about it more next week, I'm sure. My gosh. Because
is next week the finale?
Next week is the finale.
No.
And I'm going to stop talking about that because that wasn't even what I was going to do my Feels Corner about. My Feels Corner this week is about 911. Cherokee, do you watch 911?
I have seen a couple episodes, but I don't watch it. But I know. Okay. Huge on Tumblr, huge ships.
Huge on Tumblr. And another one of those shows that, like Merlin, I sort of watched the gift sets on Tumblr first, and then like that kind of got me into the show itself. Because I think I misunderstood what the show was. Like I thought it was like a cop show, and like there's a cop element to it, but mostly it's about these first responders. And I love disaster movies. You and I have bonded over this in the past.
We should do an episode about disaster movies.
We should. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, and 911 is just like a series of disaster movies. It's fantastic. But it's like a show that I like watched like semi-casually, and I forgot that it was coming back this week. And then yesterday I was like watch something while I, eat lunch in the middle of the day to take a break. And I went to Hulu and I was like, oh, 911 is back. Amazing. I'll put this on. And I sort of like, I don't know. I didn't expect to have that many feelings about it, but the episode ended. Well, actually throughout the episode, there's a character on 911, Buck, who like more so than any other character that is a blorbo of mine, I love to watch this man suffer. Like this entire season so far, we're in
that just was blorbo.
But kind of, but like, here's the thing. I want good things for him. Like, I want him to be happy. I want him to be fulfilled. But like, he suffers so beautifully. And he's been through so much. And like, so he's part of this, this ship on Tumblr, which is, there's three names for men on Tumblr. It's Steve, Eddie, and Buck. Because we have Steve and Bucky, we have Eddie and Steve, and we have Eddie and Buck.
Jesus.
And then we have Steed and Ed in Our Flag Means Death.
God, another episode topic, Lauren. We have
we have to talk about the square of Steve, Eddie, Buck.
Has this been touched upon on Tumblr at all?
I made a post about it a while ago. Although actually, wait, no, I think I may have tweeted about it. I don't know that I actually made a Tumblr post about it. I'm going to go copy my tweet over to Tumblr. Yeah.
Do it.
Because it's definitely a thing. So Buck and Eddie, Buddy, as they're known on Tumblr, are best friends. And like, I completely understand why people ship them. I ship them too, but like, I'm not necessarily as convinced that like it's actually going to happen in the show as other people are. I would love if it happened in the show, but I have no expectations. And also I love that they're kind of like platonic life partners in a lot of ways. And we like the last sort of large like season arc with the two of them was sort of like Eddie recovering from all this traumatic stuff that happened and really growing as a person, and Buck helping him through that. And then the first half of this season, Buck has sort of made some decisions that are questionable. And the entire first half of the season, I was like, he's going to break at some point. There's something's going to happen, and the show's going to break him in two. And they did it in such an extreme way in the like mid-season premiere. And next week looks bonkers. So like, I am back on my 911 bullshit. I love watching this man be put in situations. And he is in a situation right now. And yeah, I love it. So that's been giving me lots of feels.
Wow. And I also, because you mentioned mid-season premieres, just have to throw in for 15-year-old me. This last week or 2 weeks ago was the last Meredith Grey Grey's Anatomy episode.
What?
She's leaving. And like she like the I don't like any Grey's Anatomy fans know what was going to happen. Like it was, you knew what was going to happen at the mid-season finale, and then we knew her last episode, like her farewell episode, was coming. But essentially, like, the plot is that she's moving to Boston to do research, and because one of her daughters, Zola, is like a savant, a genius, and is going to like a school for like gifted children, because she's already watching surgeries because we know she's gonna be a surgeon.
Oh my
she's
God,
the
incredible.
next generation. But yeah, like I've been watching Grey's Anatomy for as long as I can remember. Like it's been, I think I started watching around season 3 or 4. So I'm not a season 1, episode 1 watcher, but I've been watching it forever. I will watch it until it's off the air. Like I'm in
incredible.
So deep now. Like I can't quit. And so that was like kind of like, it feels really like the end of an era that like Meredith is leaving, and they're really pushing this like new intern class as like the new generation. And like, I know change happens, Lauren. I know it happens, but I'm really holding on to Meredith. So that really had me in my feels, and I knew it was coming, but yeah, we love you, Meredith.
Oh, I
Grey.
love it. Oh my God. Oh, thank you for everything, Meredith Grey. You've done so much for us.
Right.
And with that, I'm Lauren Shippen, and you can find me at thelaurenshippen.tumblr.com.
And I'm Cherokee McAnelly, and you can find me at chero.tumblr.com. This has been Dashboard Diaries, and
may your anons always be loving,
your dash always refreshed,
your gifts always be loading,
and your ships always canon.
May the fix you're reading always be finished.
And the answers you seek, always in the reblogs.
Thanks for scrolling with us.